Welcome to Branson Fire Rescue. I'm Nick. I'm gonna teach forcible entry today, just the basics. If you need a bathroom, it's right outside that door over there. Raise your hand if you have any questions. So we're only gonna go over a portion of this, so about 109 slides is all there is in this. Show the basic principles. So forcible entry techniques. Used to gain access when normal means of egress is blocked, do minimal damage, and provide quick access. What are some different ways we force entry into doors?
You mean like with a tool?
Yeah, like, so we had the W tool, we like using that a lot.
W tool, Halligan,
The married set.
married set.
We've used K12s, and our goal the whole time is to do minimal damage. So I know we practice that all the time. Here. I see your supervisor term is based upon tactics that must be fulfilled, location of the fire, stage of the fire, effect on ventilation, effort required to force entry. So what are some different places you guys have gone that you forced entry in not the traditional way, through the front door? Have you guys forced entry in a back door of a building somewhere or through a window, something like that?
Yes.
Yeah, either.
Garage doors.
Garage doors. And what are some of the reasons why you guys did that?
Where the fires are located.
Okay.
Needed to get inside.
No Knox box.
Or what about a medical? Maybe we have to go through a window or something. We don't necessarily always have to go through a door.
So it doesn't always have to be on a fire.
No, it's
Yeah.
not always required.
Good point.
Why do you think we should wait to be ordered to force entry before doing so?
Maybe the attack crew's not ready, or
Could affect ventilation.
Make sure that the IC's got tactics involved and you're part of those tactics and what needs to be done.
Okay, so you're not freelancing.
yeah,
Sure, you're
Front
in the
doors
right
and
house.
ventilation ideas.
incident command doesn't have, they see a dog in there, a vicious dog, so we force the door, and the next thing you know, the dog's outside on us. So. Or lion.
There's a lot of theaters around here. Forcible entry and ventilation, we kind of just touched on that with your guys' comments. Location of opening that adds fresh air to the ventilation controlled fire can affect the behavior. Any entry to a structure is ventilation, control doors and windows to limit fresh air. Any questions on that? No? Okay. So try before you pry. You guys know what that means, right?
Yeah. Case might be unlocked, you might not have to even try it.
Yep.
How many times have you tried and it wasn't locked?
I'd say a few times actually.
Yeah, more times than not,
Half the
it's already
time.
unlocked, and we don't even need to break down the door.
Using a lockbox. That threw me off. I wouldn't say Knox box, this is lockbox. Instead of forcible entry, reduces property damage, may allow quicker entry. Information may be stored in the Princeton plans and or CAD data. And we use those all the time here in our city for all sorts of buildings. General forcible entry considerations, doors and locks, proper tools, security barrier. Do we have much of this around our city?
No.
Bars on windows
Not
or
really,
anything?
no.
The tools described in this chapter are not intended to be a comprehensive list of all tools that may be available. We might not have this stuff. What factors must be considered when deciding where and how to perform forcible entry? We kind of talked about that already with where is the fire located, ventilation stuff, or do we need to force entry in this door or another because of some other reason? What structures in your jurisdiction or ours might pose a difficult or unusual forcible entry circumstances? What are some you can think of?
Well, you just look at this building itself, they're all commercial doors. So
Any door that could steel door reinforced with locks.
And hardware, drop bars.
Strike plate covers.
Banks.
Yep. Always banks. Describe forcible entry tools. Is our order objective for this one? Anywhere. So always wear your proper PPE that you have. So gloves, probably helmet, glasses, maybe ear protection if you're running assault or doing something like that. 4 categories of force prevention tools: cutting tools, pushing and pulling tools, prying tools, and striking tools. So as mentioned before, we got our K12. We've used that many times for locks or deadbolts. Pushing, pulling tools, and prying tools. That could be like your married set. So your Halligan bar,
W tool.
W tool,
K tool.
and then a striking tool. More like your flat-headed axe.
The W
Maybe
tool
a
is definitely not an striking tool.
No. Sledgehammer could be a striking tool.
Not unless it's misused. Yeah. Cutting tools power mail or use other power source. No cutting tool will cut all materials. Using a cutting tool on materials for which it was not designed can damage the tool or endanger the operator. So we have different K12s around the department. Do you guys know which apparatus has a different K12? So we have our normal cutting blades, and then
Truck has a
The
warthog
truck
blade.
has
Yeah.
a warthog.
so don't use the Warthog on what you would use the cutting blade for, like that garage door or any door. Probably not the best.
Not on the tool, but for the person. Just some other.
So you got your pick-headed axe and a flat-headed axe. Metal cutting devices. I think we do have a torch, right?
Yes.
But it's
specialized.
Yeah, we don't use it very often. And then rebar cutters. We have some saws we use in our members machine kit that we can use to cut those. Don't use a cutting torch in a flammable environment or atmosphere. Don't use it too often. Hacksaw, drywall saw. We have a hacksaw in our members machine kits. The power saw, circular saw, rotor saw, reciprocating saw, and chainsaw, we have all those. Besides the circular. No, engine 3 does. I just don't know if all the apparatus do. Self-contained battery pack, gasoline engine, and electricity from generators or outlets are all power sources. Now we're all going to battery. So that's going to be the new thing coming up. We probably won't use a generator too much anymore. So, power saws. Be familiar with saws in your department's uses. Always follow manufacturer's recommendations and SOPs. Always use eye, hearing, and hand protection. Forcing any saw beyond its design limitations can result in property damage and/or injury. Never use a power saw in a flammable atmosphere. Does that all make sense?
Do we have any concrete saws? I don't think we do.
I don't,
Concrete chainsaws? I don't think so.
No.
That's not good. Western.
Where appropriate, eye, ear, hand, foot protection when operating a power saw. Never force a power saw beyond its design limits. Follow the manufacturer's recommendations. Those are just, they're repeating themselves about caution stuff. And that's repetitive, yeah. Bruce said that. Sparks from cutting operations can cause additional fires. Have a charged hose line or portable fire extinguisher close at hand during cutting. Never use a rotary saw to cut the shell of any storage tank that might contain flammable vapors. Okay, prying tools. What do we use prying tools for?
Prying.
So opening doors, opening locks, opening windows, moving heavy objects. So some of those are crowbars, Kelly tool, flat bar, pry bar, Halligan tool, claw tool, Hux bar, and a pry axe. And we have a majority of those. Yeah, I think we have just about.
every one of those.
besides the Hux bar.
Does he
And on the Hux bar, do we have the call tool?
Yeah.
We do on the truck, the truck has that, and the truck also has a pry
Oh,
axe.
yeah, for some, who has a Kelly tool?
That's what I don't know. I don't know if we have a Kelly tool.
We had one at one point in time, but I think it got tossed.
Yeah.
Do we?
Yeah. But it was a modified.
Modified Halligan.
It was a hot, it was a
They just cut-
three-piece.
They cut the spike up.
Yeah.
Hydraulic prying tools, that's what we talked about earlier. Hydraulic door opener or hydraulic rams. Pushing pulling tools, so we got our pipe poles, drywall hook. San Francisco, we don't have one of those. A rubbish hook. And then, well, that's a New York hook. I don't know why they have rubbish hook on there twice. And then striking tools, we battering ram, pothead axe, pick, chisel. We have a select of those. Sledgehammer. Don't really have a
We have a
mallet.
battering ram.
We have a battering ram?
Uh-huh.
Who does?
Everyone does. It's the 20-foot hydrant ram.
Had the Hydra wrench?
The hydrant ram. Yeah, what is it, like a battery ram?
Just be safe. The
Just be safe.
pothead axe and the Halligan bar. We use those all the time. That's the married set that we talk about. So what are 5 of the tools most commonly used for forcible entry?
Married set.
What tools are in the married set? Go ahead, Hudson.
That's Captain.
A Halligan
Go ahead, Kevin Hudson.
and a flathead axe.
Okay, that's 2.
K-tool,
You stole mine.
W tool.
Okay,
K-12.
there you go. Explain considerations for forcible entry tool safety. So,
Protect your eyes.
yeah, protect your eyes, wear your PPE, use the tool appropriately for what it's made for. So probably not a hydrant wrench as a battering ram. Probably not right. Improper use of tools can result in strains, sprains, fractures, abrasions, and lacerations. So, preventing injuries when using tools. Sorry. Wear appropriate PPE, we talked about that. Use only undamaged tools, so do your checks in the morning. Select the right tool. Proper use. Use tools for their intended purpose, like above. Position yourself so your weight is balanced on both feet. We'll talk about that in the training room. Preventing injuries when using tools. Ensure you have room to operate tools properly. Be aware of sudden release of energy when doors or walls open. So if you're forcing a door, be aware that it might just pop at any time. So have good foot placement that they're talking about. Ensure other personnel are out of the immediate area. Be aware of the environment to prevent gas or vapor ignitions. Become familiar with all the tools you will use. Keep tools in properly designated places. Make sure tools are secured. Repair or replace damaged tools immediately. Do not strike a tool's handle. Do not use a prying tool as a striking tool unless designed to do so. Any questions?
Why don't they have proper care and maintenance? Wouldn't that be part of tool safety?
Shoot it first. I thought they mentioned something about. So use only undamaged tools. That's why I said do your checks in the morning. That I would assume that falls in there with that. Safety with power tools. Match saw blade. Match saw and blades to the task and materials to be cut. So like he mentioned, he asked if we had a saw for cutting concrete. We don't have one. Don't grab our chainsaw and just start trying to cut the concrete. It's going to destroy that. Never force a saw beyond its design limitations. Always wear full PPE. Fully inspect saw before and after use. So do your checks like you're supposed to. Clean the saw after you use it. Check it in the morning. And if you guys use saws a lot, you can tell when you're forcing it and not just letting it do its job and eat through the material like it's designed to.
Question.
Yeah.
So when you talked about cutting concrete, I think we've got a couple of K-12s now that we could put the right blade on, and they've got actually a water.
Yeah, you can put a
You
hose
can
to it.
actually
Keep
put
it cool.
it's got spigots, you can put a line on it, keep it cool. So we actually have the means, if we were to ever go that route and need it, we could actually.
Okay, just make sure we do it, like hook up the water hose, keep it cool and all that. Safety with power saws. Do not use any power saw in a flammable atmosphere or near flammable liquids. We talked about that. Maintain situational awareness, so if anything changes. Keep unprotected and non-essential people out of the work area. Follow manufacturer's guidelines for operations. Key blades and chains sharpened. Be aware of hidden hazards. Use only blades approved for your saw. Account for twisting of a rotary saw blade when making cuts. Start all cuts at full RPM. Store blades in clean, dry environments. Store composite blades where gasoline fumes will not accumulate. Any questions about that? What actions can a firefighter take to stay safe while performing forcible entry?
Wear PPE,
And then staying aware of your surroundings.
proper stance, make sure you use the tool for its intention, like intended purpose.
Sound good. Explain how to carry forcible entry tools, what we're gonna talk about. So, a pickaxe, see it's covering the pitch, that way it doesn't fall and stab somebody or somebody run into him. And then covering the blade as well in his armpits, so again, if he doesn't fall, he doesn't cut himself or somebody else. Combined tools, that looks like the married set. So he has a strap on it and it keeps everything tightened together. And then the pike pole, he's keeping the point down so he doesn't stab somebody or himself or falls. Striking pole, just blunt, so you don't have to worry about anything stabbing him. He's just keeping it down, away from his head, and then a power tool, keep the chain and all that down. How should each of the following tools be carried? Axis, prying bar, or prying tools, pike pole, striking tools, power tools. Any questions
We just
about
saw
that?
it,
Yeah. Describe how to clean and maintenance forcible entry tools. Tools will function as designed and properly maintained. Tool failure can result in delay, injury, or death. Always follow manufacturer's guidelines and SOPs. Damaged or excessively worn tools should be removed from service, tagged, and sent for repair or replacement. Any questions about that? Maintaining tools with wooden handles. Wooden handle maintenance. What do you guys usually do for that?
Linseed oil,
Do that a lot for ours. What do you guys usually check for?
cracking.
Cracks,
Splinters.
tightness of the bed.
And if there's just surface splinters, we sort of lightly sand them out and put linseed oil on.
So fiberglass handles, wash with mild detergent, then rinse and wipe dry, check for damage or cracks, check tightness of the tool's head, so those are mentioned. Cutting edges, inspect for chips, cracks, or spurs, replace axe heads when required. File cutting edges by hand, sharpen blade as specified by SOPs. Ensure axe head is not too thin or too thick. You guys know what they're talking about with that?
Yeah.
The width of it. Never apply paint to the cutting surface of an axe head. This may cause the cutting surface to stick and bind.
Plus you can't see damage if it's painted.
Covers up. So plated surfaces, plated with chromium or electro plating to protect metal surfaces. Wipe clean or wash using mild detergent and water. Rinse and wipe dry. Inspect for damage. Unprotected metal surfaces. Use metal file to remove burrs. Do not make blade too sharp. Do not use a mechanical grinder. So you guys have any questions about maintaining those? You should check them every morning, and on your weeklies, do a more detailed check. Unprotected metal surfaces. Oil the surface lightly and avoid any protectant that contains 111 triglycine. I probably said that wrong. Urethane. Do not apply oil to striking surface. Do not paint metal surfaces. Inspect metal for chips, cracks, burrs, or sharp edges and file them off. It's all good. So why must the tools be checked and maintained?
So they're ready to go for the call early at.
Yep, and for safety.
And then it'll break when we use it.
So we talked about doors. So ways to reduce damage resulting from forcible injury. Begin with minimum amount of damage and proceed to maximum amount. So we talked about try, pre, pry. Determine severity of emergency and speed with which entry must be gained. Try to open door in a normal fashion or look for a lock box. Look for a door, window, or side light panel to provide access. Determine which method is quicker. So have you guys done all of those things? Attacked hinges, pulled off the deadbolt. We do have, I think we did used to have one of those. I'm thinking about it. And then forcing the door. Provide a way to open doors without forcible entry. mounted at high visibility locations and use a master key. And like I said, we have those all around the city, those Knox boxes, we use all the time. Door control, critical during forcible entry, ventilation profile change can be adversely affect fire behavior. Take steps to deal with the fire behavior changes if doors is damaged and cannot close. Firefighter stationed at the door to control only prop door open and closing the door would block egress. And that's what we talked about, ventilation. That's what you guys mentioned, it can become a problem if we break the door or can't control it in some way. Gain access to the property, types of fences and gates, wood, masonry, chain link. So we'll just touch on this briefly real quick. This shouldn't be too long in this, but. So you got wood fences, masonry, chain link, ornamental metal, plastic, barbed wire, wire fabric, security gate with electronic lock, and then fencing hazards. Around here we got a lot of barbed wire here and there with people with horses or some type of livestock. Electric fences, that's also pretty common. So, and you mentioned dogs. There is quite a bit of guard dogs or something they have livestock or just for home. So, we're not going to talk too much about gates. We're more worried about doors. So, these are going to talk about latches and doors. Just different kinds of latches. I don't know if you guys are too familiar with them or not. But mortise latch and lock, you can just look at the pictures and you can see the differences in them. A cylindrical lock, key in the knob. And that's probably the most common what you see all the time in houses.
For residential.
Cylindrical lock, tubular deadbolt. Where do you see those at a lot?
Those are usually commercial businesses.
Commercial ones.
That's easy.
The easiest way to breach modern deadbolts in a wooden residential door is to force the door itself. And that's what we do most of the time. Rim lock. See, you see those. I see those in older houses sometimes. High security lock. We see those in a lot of buildings too. Locking device. We have those over there at Celebration City quite a bit. That's the ones we use at K-12 a lot on. The little battery one. Locking devices. So JC mentioned the drop bar. We see those a lot in hotels. The door limiter, door chain. We see the same thing. And then internal mounted bolt and surface bolt. So
Which your Sawzall can get through those internal mounted bolts if you need
The
to,
tops and bottoms of like the commercial glass doors.
because you can slide that blade in there. In K-12, you probably